Welcome back to our channel, friends and family. Today we're going to explore into the topics that we have been waiting for, and they are how to turn our dream or our plan for our life into a reality. You heard that correctly. We're going to be talking about how to turn our dreams into a reality today. If you're interested in this topic, stay tuned. Are you ready? Let's get into it. Welcome back to Choosing to Live Now. My name is Taneshia, and you heard it correctly. Today we're going to be talking about how to turn our dreams or our plans for our life into a reality. Yes, friends. Yes. So we have spent about 10 episodes talking about a lot of topics related to personal traumas and personal underpinnings that could occur in our life that could ultimately stop us from becoming the people that we desire to become. And you might have noticed that in all of these conversations, there seemed to sort of be a theme. And that theme sort of seemed to be where we discussed and explored the fact that regardless to everything that we might have experienced in our lives, that it is very important that we change the way that we think about what we've gone through so that the way that we think does not stop us from where we're going, right? So if you've thought about that as the potential theme of our conversations, you're absolutely correct. And so I think that one of the things that we often forget about in our lives is that things happen to us on a regular basis that we cannot control. And those things that we go through in our adult life as well as when we were children don't just go away because we don't deal with them or we don't walk through them. They actually inform everything that we do in our current life. And so the purpose of these previous discussions about anxiety, about our identity, and about us forgiving and dealing with grief and loss is because while we can't, even though we watch these videos and become aware of these things, we are not going to change from them, or we can't change from them overnight. But now that we are aware that these are the things that have been deep rooted in our thought processes, our ideologies, the way that we view our life and the way that we function, now we're able to know why it is that when we set strategies for our life and set goals for our life, that we might have been stopped from being able to accomplish them. It is not because we don't have the will, the desire, or the passion to be who we want to be. We have these unresolved issues, these unresolved traumas that have stopped us from moving forward. Now that we're aware, though, we can properly make goals, strategies for our life that help us to become who we have dreamed and planned to be. Friends, are you with me? Okay, so let's move on to the next level. So now we're here. We are here in this space, and we recognize that we have had dreams and plans for our life ever since we were children, and they might have changed a little bit, but we're here in this space. And some of us have even stepped out on faith and started our own businesses, and we've started our own agencies, and we've started moving towards getting education and getting those things that we need to meet this ultimate plan or dream that we have for our life. But we've noticed that every time we've gotten started, or every time we've conceptualized doing these things, we've had a difficulty moving forward once we go to a certain point. We haven't been able to really figure out why that is. And so we're here in 2022 thinking about this year and the subsequent years to come. How can we make sure that we turn our dream/plan for our life into a reality? How do we keep moving forward when life seems to throw us curveballs? That might be what you are asking yourself. Okay, so let's first begin by defining what a dream actually is. So I'm going to define it personally. You might want to add to it. You might have another formal definition you want to follow it, and you can use that. But this is how I view dreams. Dreams/plans for our life, right, are these visualization, these internal ideas and thought processes that come from a place connected to our talents, our passion, our drives, and our core fundamental values of truth. They are these aspects of self that live with us, that inform who we want to become and how we want to accomplish that goal. Yep. That's how I see a dream. It's bigger than just this grandiose thought that comes to mind of something that we want to do or some plan that we want to make. But it's really rooted in the core fundamental values of who we are. It's rooted in our talents and our gifts and our passions. All of those things come together to help us to create our dream or plan for our life. But did you know something? Did you know something? It is critically important that we dream. We need it. It's what keeps us warm on a cold day. We have this thought of, I might be here today, but this is where I want to be. And I'm going to keep looking towards that goal. I'm going to keep working towards that goal. It gives us something to live for. Why? Because our dreams are attached to our purpose, even if we don't know that now. So it's critically important that we dream. But here's the next part. Dreaming/planning for our life is not enough. I know. You probably watched every inspirational message, video, read every book about how it's important not to let your dream die. But my friends, if you're dreaming or planning for your life, for your future, dreaming and planning for your future is not enough. You can't just have a plan. In 10 years, I'm going to be here. In 20 years, I'm going to be there. Because while dreaming/planning for your life is critically important, dreaming and planning for your life is abstract. And you might be saying, what do you mean abstract? It means that it's not tangible. These are, they come out initially as ideas, as thoughts. But how are you going to take those abstract ideas and make them into a reality? How? How are we going to ever get to these things that we see in our heart and our mind that are based on our core fundamental values of truth and on our talents and on our passions? How? I'm going to tell you how. The only way that we're going to be able to accomplish our dream/plan for our life is if we set smart goals. Friends, can I say that again for the people on the side? Y'all, did y'all hear that? The only way that we're going to be able to bring our dreams/plans for our life into a reality, meaning taking them from abstract ideas and making them real, something that is in front of us that we can actually see, touch, and pursue, is if we set smart goals. Now you might be asking, Taneshia, what in the world is a SMART goal? I set goals all the time. What's a SMART goal? I'm glad you asked. So SMART is actually an acronym. and we're going to go through it in just a moment. But SMART goals in general are goals that were actually created in about the 1980s for the business sector of the world. And the purpose that SMART goals were designed were honestly to help businesses produce better results from their office managers or the people that they work with. And the goal of it was they wanted to not only have them to have better results toward their end dream or plan for that business, but also to make sure that when there were more results that were created, that the people that were working on those results were in a good state of mental health and well-being in providing those results. So Taneshia, what are you saying? What I'm saying is a lot of times we set goals for our lives and they are set in a way that they are so huge, so large, so big that we are unable to obtain them. And then if you tack onto that, the idea that we have these unresolved traumas and issues in our life, all of those things reappear when we have set these huge goals that we feel like they're so difficult to reach. And we ultimately then begin to feel like an internal failure. And our internal feeling about ourselves stops us from moving forward to pursue what we dreamed and planned to be a reality in our life. So we never then see our dreams become a reality because our goals are not set in a healthy way. And you know why we typically don't set goals in a healthy way? Can I be honest with you, friends and family? Because we don't know how. I know. Mind blown. But it's the reality. We do not know how. If you're not raised as a part of the 1% of our society where you have access to wealth and goal setting and seeing people living out their lives, doing great at the top echelons of society, how would you know unless somebody tells you? Do you know when I was introduced to SMART goals? Friends, I was introduced to SMART goals as a training therapist on my journey to becoming a doctor, where we had to figure out ways to set goals or to help our clients set goals for their mental health journey. And so I was introduced to SMART goals at that time, and it has changed my life ever since. And friends, we are a community, so I wanted to share that with you. So then you might be saying, what is SMART goals? Let me give you what the acronyms stand for. SMART goals are goals that are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and bound to a time limit, friends. Did you hear that? Can I say that one more time for the people in the back? Friends, what a SMART goal is are goals that are specific, measurable, obtainable, oh gosh, relevant, and time limited. They have a deadline. So if you think back to some of the goals you set for yourself, for your business, if you had one right now that you're trying to build up, if you think back to some of the things that you wanted to do in your life, think back to the goals you set. And can you answer those? Were they SMART? Were they specific? Were they measurable? Were they obtainable? Were they relevant? And did you give yourself a time limit? If they were not, that's another reason why you may not have been able to see your dreams and your plans for your life be a reality. So let's walk through them each one by one and talk about what that looks like in your actual life. Because friends, I'm here to help you. And as I'm helping you, it's helping me. Here we go. So when we deal with goals that are, number one, specific, right? This means that the goal that you're setting for yourself in pursuit of your dream or your plan for your life are clearly identified. Clearly identified. So you can really go about this, friends, one of two ways. You can actually set up for yourself, long-term goals and make specific steps, as in, for example, each year, what you want to accomplish each year. Or you can have a long-term dream or a plan for your life, and you want to set up each year, like on a monthly or daily basis. How can I get to that goal little by little? You can do it however you want to do it. Or you might not want to look at your life in the big picture. You know that ultimately you'd hope to get to a point, but you might want to set it up as in, what do I want to accomplish specifically for this year? Whatever works for you, whatever's going to keep you motivated to stay in the fight towards being who you desire to be, that is what I encourage you to do. For me, I do a combination of both. I like a little bit of big picture planning, and I also like a little bit of this year planning. So my long-term goal could be, I want to earn a certain amount of money, right? Or I want to obtain a certain skill. But my yearly goal could be, I want to complete this course series on the road to being able to learn a specific skill. Or I might want to create these streams of income and earn X amount of dollars in my attempt to get to this next goal. I do a combination of both. That works for me, but find out what works for you. But what's most important is that whatever your goals are for your life, that they are specific. They are clearly identified. Here's the next thing. These goals that are specific need to be measurable. So what I mean by measurable is that they cannot be abstractly stated goals. Let me think of one. So let's think about one for someone in business. One for one in business would be, I want to grow exponentially in my business this year. And listen, that's a great goal. But how do we measure that? So then what you need to do in order to measure that is you need to create a definition for yourself of how you can measure that goal. So if you have a goal that currently exists but is abstract, in order to make the goal measurable, you have to go back to the first step, which is make it specific. So you have to identify this goal more clearly. So if your abstract goal as a small business owner is to grow in your business, you have to define what growing in business looks like for you so that you can measure it. What does it look like? So a clear goal would be, you can use that overarching theme, I want to grow exponentially in my business. But what does that growth look like? Is that advertising growth? See the specific? Is that dollar amount growth? If you have a front-facing business, do you want to have more clients to enter your establishment to make a potential sale? Do you want to have more growth as it pertains, or do you want to have more growth as it pertains to your popularity, people knowing that your business exists? Really just find out specifically what that goal is. And when you do that, we can create measurable terms. So measurable terms as it pertains to the popularity of your business might be that you want more people to know who you are. So you might want to use a measurement tool like a advertising app or an advertising company like Facebook or Instagram to advertise your business on it. And you might want to get your business out to a bunch of different people who didn't even know you existed. And for you, you might measure the success of your goal to get more well known and to become more popular in your area by the amount of likes that your business receives. Or you might decide in your personal life that one of your goals, your specific goals for the year is that you want to start a business, and by the end of the year, you want to specifically make $10,000 in your first year because you're going to be doing this business part-time. And if that be the case, then you've given a great way to measure it. You've already set up this goal where, okay, I'm starting a new business and I want this business to make X amount of dollars. That is our end result. So now what we have to measure is how much money we're making monthly or how much money we want to make per quarter in order to meet that goal. So then, now that you have a specific goal that you want to make more money personally in this individual business that you have, or you have a business already and you set the goal that you want to be more popular, and you've created a measurement for how to be able to determine at the end of a period of time that you have met that goal, the next thing you have to do is determine if the goals that you have created are attainable. So if you're a brand new business, if you're starting out doing something brand new, or if, for example, you want to purchase a home, that is your specific goal, and you're measuring that goal by the amount of houses that you go see, you need to really go back and then think about the idea of, is this goal that I want to meet attainable? What do you mean by that? What I mean by that is you might want to buy a new house, but do you have the credit for that house? Do you have the capital for that house? Do you have, are you looking in the right areas? Is it able to obtain the goal? Is that price point that you've set as your budget appropriate for the area that you're looking to buy one? If you are starting a new business, and like we gave as a previous example, if you wanted to earn $10,000 in that business by the end of the year, is it realistic that you can do that in the type of business that you're in? Especially if that business is virtual and no one knows you. And if it is, think about ways to make it attainable. How is it attainable? Can you answer those questions for yourself? And the next thing, when you're thinking about goal setting, is that goal relevant? Meaning, is that goal important to you? Do you want to get a new house for the sake of getting a new house, or is it something that's important to you for a reason? For example, you are creating a new investment portfolio and you're like, hey, I want to do this. And I need to do this for what I'm desiring to obtain. Think about if it's relevant to you. Is it important? Why does a goal have to be relevant, Taneshia? Because if it's not important to you, you're not going to stick with it. If it doesn't matter to you. That's the reason why I begin the conversation talking about our goals and our plans for our life. Because we have a lot of dreams and aspirations, and those typically what's important to us. But in order to take them out from a place of obscurity and bring them to reality, it has to be something that's important to us. And then the last part of the SMART goals is, do you have a clear, defined time frame of which you want to achieve that goal? Now, you heard me talking about it. I gave an example of having the goal to be completed by the end of the year. And really, it's up to you. You might need to extend your goal being completed at the end of 3 months. Or you might need to set one larger goal for the year and set many goals every 3 months to see if you're on target to meeting that goal. But whatever the case may be, understand that goals are aspirational. Can I say that again for the people in the back? Goals are aspirational. You might even just have a goal to work out, my friend. Because it doesn't have to be business related. I'm bringing up business because they're very common and people want to do something new. So many of us work jobs and are in professions that we do not like. We could have done it for 5 or 10 years and we're like, I'm over this. I want to do something different. And this is the time of the year that people want to do that. Or people already have businesses and they're like, it's not working. I feel like it's not working. Have you considered the goals that you've set? Are they specific? Are they measurable? Are they obtainable? Are they relevant? Are they time-bound? But listen, there's another group of us that just want to be better human beings. And we might want to set out a goal that we're going to speak kind words to ourselves more because we don't do it enough. Our goal could also be that we want to have a fitness journey that lasts. And I ask you again, friend, is your goal for fitness specific? Do you know exactly what you want to be? Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to gain muscle? Do you just want to feel better every day? And then how are you going to measure that? We often set these goals at the beginning of the year, but we do not have a measurement tool. If you wanted to be more healthy, more active, lose weight, you can use different apps. Weight Watchers has an app. Who else? Noom has an app. MyFitnessPal has an app. Tons of apps are out there that can help you meet those goals. Yeah. These are people that help you to meet those goals. But then you really got to ask yourself, are these goals attainable? Can I actually do them? Am I overextending myself? A lot of times new businesses fail because people don't have attainable goals. They are too big, too complicated, that even the person that is in the biggest Fortune 500 company could not meet if it was their own goal. Why? Because it is too lofty. It is great, awesome to want to challenge yourself, but please consider when you're setting goals towards your plan for your life and to bring your dreams into a reality, that these goals need to be something that can actually be done on the level that you're on. And listen, the next thing is that are these goals relevant? Sometimes we have plans and dreams for our life, but the goals that we set are not even relevant to getting to where we want to be. And then we get frustrated because we don't understand how we can get from where we are to where we want to be. Reconsider the goals that you're setting. Because if they're not relevant and if they're not important to you, you're not going to stick with them. And if they're not important to your overall dream, to your overall plan, you're never going to stick with it. So I want you to be encouraged, friend. If you've set goals in the past and you've not met them, they may be because the goals that you set were not set up in a smart way, specific, measurable, attainable, and my favorite one is time-bound. It is impossible to have goals that do not have a time limit. And the reason why that is you're not going to stick to it. It's a possibility that you're not going to stick to those goals because you do not have the accountability that there is a time limit. But what's most important, the takeaways I want you to have from this conversation is, it's important to dream, but dreams and plans can be abstract. We need to create them, concretize them, if you will. We need to concretize them in order for us to be able to attain them. And the way that we make them concrete is by setting smart goals. If we can do that, we're going to be successful. Friend, my ending thoughts are this. Your life is bigger than what you even imagine. You were created for more than just existing, but you were actually created to live, to be your best version of yourself. I know that you have dreams. I know that you have plans for your life and you found it difficult at times to meet them, or you started that journey, but you felt discouraged. I am with you, and I want you to know that you're not alone in that. But maybe let's reconsider. Let's reconsider the way we goal set to reach those dreams and those plans. Because if the way we set our goals was off, then the way that we are going to be able to accomplish them is going to be strained. You are made for the life that you dreamed. You just have to keep going. Whatever you do, don't quit. Friend, don't give up. Don't lose sight on yourself. You are right where you're supposed to be. And even if the only place you're at right now is at the idea that you still are dreaming and hoping to change, that's a great place to start. Having a mind to change is everything. Why? Because if we can change our mind, we can change our life. Friend, I want the best for you. I want you and I to be free. And that is why I'm here. This is a community. This is a safe space. We're going to get through this journey together. And we're going to begin living out our dreams by setting proper goals. We're going to begin living out our dreams by continuing to manage our past traumas with health and success. We're going to stop avoiding. We're going to move forward now. Thank you so much for logging in today. I hope you enjoyed the content. And listen, friend, if you are enjoying this content, please like, please comment, please share, and most importantly, subscribe. And put on your notification bells if you want to be alerted every time we provide new content, new discussions. Listen, thank you so much for joining us today. And I look forward to our next discussion. Until next time, blessings to you today, my friend.
Just in case you weren't sure.